So you just bought an Ariel Rider Kepler. Well, congratulations! You just made a fabulous purchase of one of the best e-bikes on the market. Oh, you bought yours a long time ago? Well, that's okay too, because you might find some helpful tips in this video as well. Before we get started, I'm going to be giving away this phone mount at the end of this video, so make sure you watch until the end so you can find out how to enter to win this brand new Ariel Rider phone mount. This video you're about to watch is made specifically for an owner of the Ariel Rider Kepler. We're going to go through a series of topics such as how-tos, features, and many tips on how to use your Kepler from start to finish. Before we get started, I wanted to remind you that I made a full list of videos about the Ariel Rider Kepler, and you can find those videos down below in the description. If this is the first time checking out my Ariel Rider Kepler videos, I urge you to go tune in and watch those, as they will go through the assembly, performance, and tips and tricks. On the left side of the screen is a list of sections that we will go over during this video, so let's begin. The very first thing you'll want to do when you finish assembling your Kepler is take the battery and remove it from the bike and get it ready for charging. It takes about 6 to 8 hours to charge your bike normally, but the initial charge, let it sit there for about 12 hours before you take the bike out. So take the provided charger that came with the Kepler and first plug the charge port into the battery. After that, you'll want to take the other end and plug it into an outlet, and that ensures that there's no spark when you plug it in. You're first going to see a red light, which means that it is charging, and then it's going to turn green. That means it's complete. Then we're going to slide the battery onto the battery housing on the bike and make sure that it clicks in place, and then you're ready to proceed with powering on your bike. Now, to power on the Kepler, all you'll need to do is push the power button for about 2 seconds until you see the logo appear on the screen. So your Kepler has 2 different setting screens, and to access the first one, with the Kepler powered on, you push and hold the bottom 2 buttons on the remote. Now the first option here for clear data, that's how you clear your trip data. And then under setup, you can click on any of these options and adjust how you want to. You can turn the auto headlight on or off. You can set the units. You can set the brightness of the screen. You can have the bike auto power off for a certain amount of time, and that's the basic settings on the bike for you to access. To access the advanced settings screen, push and hold the power button until the password prompt appears. Enter 1919 and this will give you access to the advanced settings screen. In the controller perimeter screen, you can change the wheel diameter and the circumference of the wheel, and this will help dial in your miles per hour gauge on the speedometer. You can also change a bunch of other things in here, but the only thing that you really need to touch is the speed limit setting down at the bottom, which will allow you to adjust how fast your Ariel Rider Kepler goes. And then back to the main screen of the advanced settings, you can change the assist level. You can have it defaulted to whatever assist level you want and have it up to 9 pedal assist levels. On the left hand side of the handlebars, you'll find the light and turn signal indicator switches. To turn the headlight and tail light on, you just push the bottom button in, and to indicate left or right, you just flip the switch in whichever direction you're going, but you'll need to return it back to the center when you're done. And the rear tail light also acts like a brake light. And here's the front headlight. Underneath the stem is a bolt, which will allow you to adjust it up or down. This is great if you're a taller rider because you don't have to keep your handlebars at a lower stance. Now when you raise it up, you may need to adjust the components on the handlebars itself, so just keep that in mind. Once you're done adjusting the stem, you may have to also adjust the brake levers, the SIS index, and the screen. Now the brains behind the operation of the Ariel Rider Kepler is right here in the middle of your screen. This is where the controller is located. So if you ever have problems with that, this is where you need to go to get to that component. The Cadence Sensor is located right next to the crank. This device tells the controller that you are pedaling and sends a signal to your bike to give it power to the motor. Sometimes this can go bad or the power cable can be damaged. If this ever happens to you, this is where you go to replace that. And this is across all models on the Ariel Rider e-bikes. The front shocks have micro adjustments on the suspension. This means you can dial in the suspension to your liking or lock it out completely. On the other side is the preload adjustment, and this is how you adjust how much suspension is available before compressing. Now, I've made a dedicated video on many different things about the Kepler, but one thing I'm going to revert back to that I haven't made a video about in a while is how to adjust your hydraulic brakes. Now, there's a couple different things that you can do here. You can actually adjust this little piece right here with a very tiny Allen wrench, and this can tighten or loosen your lever here. If for whatever reason you feel like this is too far away, you can actually bring this a little bit closer. You can also go in here and add mineral oil or bleed your brakes. That's how you do that. You just take this little bolt off here, and then you can bleed the brakes just by putting a little thing on. And you can just buy a brake bleed kit, something like this. I'll leave a link in the description. But this gives you all the necessary items you need to bleed your brakes. And then there's two major things that you need. You'll need this little adapter that goes into the reservoir, and this is a little funnel that you put the mineral oil into, and then when you get it full, you squeeze this and it kind of sucks the fluid down into the brake system. You also have syringes, so you kind of have a bunch of different options with this kit. And I like this kit came with a little plastic case, so I can always keep everything intact. But the major thing you'll want to do right off the bat, basically you're going to loosen the bolts on the caliper. So we're just going to take an Allen key here, loosen these bolts. And this is the same for pretty much every e-bike, even mechanical brakes. You just want to get these loose. What that's going to do is allow it to move. And then when you squeeze your brakes, you'll squeeze your brake lever up here. And then as you're squeezing the brake, you'll tighten this. And this basically aligns everything, so you won't get any more rubbing unless your rotor is bent, and then you may have to do a little finagling with that, but should be pretty good from the factory. So after you get all that tight, your brakes should be aligned, and it shouldn't make any noise when you spin them. Next to the right hand grip, you will find a quarter twist throttle. You can use this just as if you are riding a motorcycle to increase speed. This allows you to get up to speed quickly without having to use your pedals. Pedal assist gives you the capability to pedal and gain assistance from the motor. This is great if you want to both get exercise while also getting a little help from the motor. As you increase the PAS level, the speed and power will increase from the motor, allowing you to ride your bike easier and faster. To adjust your seat, all you got to do is pull this clamp, and this will allow you to raise it up and down. Pretty simple. Now you'll notice I have a different seat post, and this is a suspension seat post by SR Suntour. It's called the NCX. So that provides a little bit of comfort considering this is a hardtail e-bike. I always suggest getting a suspension seat post, and I've also upgraded the seat, which you can do as well, which is why I always recommend buying the Kepler, because you have the ability to easily go buy a seat off of Amazon and install it on your bike. Now you don't need a suspension seat post to install a aftermarket seat. You can use the stock seat post for that, but you do have the ability to update the seat post altogether and get you a suspension one. Now the rear rack on the Kepler is huge. As you can see, I have a bag on here and I still have half the rack left, and this is great because you can also add like a basket on the back. For instance, on my Grizzly I have a big cargo basket. You could actually install this on the Kepler as well, but the Bag is convenient because it allows you to store things. It also has panniers, so having the rear rack is awesome. You can add things like child seats, aftermarket accessories, bags, and that makes everything so much better to be able to haul stuff around with you. And really, this allows you to use your Kepler as a car replacement. Alright, I'm going to quickly show you how to install the Ariel Rider phone mount, which is a wireless charger and USB charger in one. If you don't have wireless charging capabilities for your phone, you can still use this and plug a USB cable in the bottom of it. At the bottom there's a little port, and that allows you to plug a USB cable. It is 5 volt 2 amps, and then that little switch allows you to switch from wireless to USB and then to turn it off. In the box you'll get this Y cable. This allows you to split the signal from this cable that goes into the screen and then to power the wireless phone charger. This end plugs directly into the screen, and then you take the cable from the screen and plug it into the green port here, and then the phone charger plugs into the red port. So then you pull the cable on the left hand side out of the screen, you kind of got to wiggle it, and then that cable will plug in to the Y cable onto the male end. This plug right here. Then you're left with the red cable, and you just plug these two in together, one from the phone mount and the other from the Y cable. If you want to enter in to win this phone charger, you can go to my Instagram, which is Randy R. I'll leave a link in the description as well. Go to my Instagram, you'll find a picture of this wireless phone charger. Make sure you like that photo and leave a comment below letting me know why you want to win it. And then I'll pick the winner from that list and send you a direct message on Instagram, so watch out for that. As soon as you win, I'll get your address and all your information and mail this out to you for free. There is no obligations to enter the contest. You just gotta follow my Instagram and subscribe to this channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Simple, simple, simple minds. I guess we'll take it one